Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Holly, and today we will do a reading activity called Flying the Nest. So, hello again, Alejandro. Wow,
Hello.
you've been with me most of the day. Were you in my were you in my early afternoon classes as well?
uh, yes, I start with, at 5 o'clock with
Five
you.
o'clock. Okay. I
Yes.
started at 2 o'clock. So that would have been your 5 o'clock. Yeah. How fun.
Yeah. Now it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, and this is my last class too. So I can't access the site. Jorgen is strange. Um, you appear to be in the class. Try to. Maybe you should shut down your browser. And try again. So, hi, Anton. How are you?
Good evening, Holly. I'm great.
Good morning to you. So, 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 did you just wake up, or are you have you
No,
been up
I
for a
woke
while?
up. I woke up at 9 a.m. today.
Okay, so you've been up for a while. All right. So, all right. Um, so, yeah. Have you had a good morning then? Because I think it's noon where you are now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's noon.
Uh-huh. So did you have a good morning?
Yeah, I have I had great morning.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. All right. And let's see if Jorgen can come in. He's trying. Jorgen.
Yes, can you hear me?
Good. Yes, we can hear you.
Oh,
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Sometimes when things kind of don't seem right, if you just shut down the browser and just come back, everything fixes itself.
Yes.
So, yeah, and I've learned sometimes I will be on Verbling, and then they will have updated the site while I'm on Verbling, and then I'll start the classroom and you guys can't get in. And then I go, oops.
Yes.
So I have to go back
Well,
out.
my,
And
my, my headset was flashing, so I believe perhaps I didn't turn it properly on.
uh-huh. Yeah, possibly. I did that one time. It was when I first started teaching. I was teaching a group of students from Taiwan. And um, I was just so sure that their microphones, there was something wrong with their microphones because I could not hear them very well. And then then it turned out it was the volume on my headset.
Yes.
So I was like, "Oh, can you believe that?" So, but that was back in 2006 or 2007, something like that. But anyway, so flying the nest. This is a reading activity, and also it should be fun, a fun activity, just simply because this is actually a rite of passage that most everybody does. I'll write that down. Does everybody know what a rite of passage is? Bear with me a moment.
Rite of passage. I don't think I have heard that term before.
Really? A rite of passage. A rite of passage is, say, for example, a rite of passage. I think Alejandro, I don't know about your countries, but I know
Oh, yes.
in Russia and in Denmark, I think you guys get your driver's license when you're 18, or you can. That is a rite of passage. So,
Rite has to do with custom.
yeah,
Can you use?
yeah, yeah,
What is custom?
yeah.
And
So
you do things in a certain way always. That's how to do things.
well, it's kind of like uh, graduating from high school is a rite of passage, or flying the nest is a rite of passage, or like in my country, in my state, when kids are 12 years old, they can take a hunting course where they can learn how to hunt and they get gun safety, and they learn a lot of things about hunting so they can start hunting and fishing with their dad, and they can get a hunting license. But that's a rite of passage in my state that would not be in every state. But since we're a rural state, that's why it is. So, so what do you guys? So flying the nest is a rite of passage. But what do you think that flying the nest means? Any guess?
When you leave your home
Yes.
or your parents' home.
Yes, when you leave your parents' home. And that's, of course, a rite of passage. Everybody, leaving your parents' home means you are now an adult, at least in some respects. You are. So, so have you guys heard the term an empty nest?
An empty nest? No, I don't think so.
An empty nest or empty nesters.
Is it a person who lives alone?
Nope. It might be, but an empty nest is what your home is after all the kids leave, and the mother and father are left alone. Hello, Odie. Welcome back. So.
Thank you.
And empty nesters are usually people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s whose children have just left. So if you and your wife are living alone and you have kids elsewhere, you are called an empty nester. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yes, that's a good expression.
Yeah. It's commonly used. It's very widely used, actually. So I remember it was really weird for me when I first came back to the States. I got in contact with some high school friends of mine, and one guy through Facebook, and one guy, he was my age, he was in his early 40s, and he was an empty nester, and he and his wife were really excited that they were finally empty nesters. And they, of course, had started out very early. They started out when they were 18, obviously. So, all right, so let's go ahead and first, okay, before we read this, I'd like to know from each one of you, how old are you how old are people in your country when they finally leave home or they finally fly the nest? So, Odie, how about in Indonesia? How old are people when they finally fly the nest?
19, I think, because when they get the age of 19, they have to go to the college, and then they live alone because most of the time good universities are in town or in another town.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. And Ken, welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so how about in Japan? How old are people when they finally fly the nest?
Maybe they when they enter the university or when they find the job or something.
Okay. And Jorgen, how about in Denmark?
When I think about 17, 18 years old.
Okay. So when they go to university or jobs or.
Yes, I would say that.
Okay. And Alejandro, how about in your country? In Argentina?
Yes, when the people finish the university.
When they finish university?
Yes, because the rents are very high here.
Okay.
If they find a job during the university, they could be rented a flat.
Now, are you the person who told me that you commute 4 hours to the university?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Are you the person who was telling me, I think it was earlier this week or last week, that you commute 4 hours to go to university?
Uh,
You take the bus 4 hours.
no, no, no,
Okay.
because I don't go to the university now.
Okay. That
I
wasn't you.
finished the university.
Okay.
I only work.
Okay. Then that was somebody else who told me, and I was really, really surprised. But someone down from, I don't think, maybe not from Argentina, maybe he was from Chile, but somewhere down in South America. It wasn't Brazil though, so it was a Spanish-speaking country. So
Ah,
maybe Colombia. So I was really so. Um, Anton, how about in Russia? How old are people when they finally fly the nest?
It's hard to say because in most urbanized areas we have just crazy costs on renting apartments. So when people uh, attend to university, they they live with parents till, till graduation. I think it's about in most cases 24, 25 years.
dass er aus dem falschen Ding kommt.
So, well, most cases about 24 or 25. So,
Yeah.
so that's the same as in Argentina as well. Hello, Beate. Can you hear us?
Oh, good morning. Good morning for me.
Morning.
Hello, Holly.
Good. Hello. So, it's nice to see you, Beate. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, I had big trouble.
Yeah, I was sick for a while, and then I started having internet problems, and so we just weren't connecting. So yeah, so just so that everybody knows who everybody is, we have Ken from Japan, Japan from Ken, Ken from Japan. We have Alejandro from Argentina, where it is 2 a.m. and Anton from Russia. And then everyone, this is Beate she's from Germany, but she's been living in Greece for 30 years. So she's probably more Greek than she is German.
No.
No? Okay. You wouldn't say that. Okay. And this is Jorgen from Denmark, and then we have Odi from Indonesia. So we have South America and Asia, Southeast Asia, then North America because of me, and then Siberia as well, and then Europe and Asia, all over the place, y'all. So
great.
Any question for you, Beate? How old are people in Germany when they finally fly the nest? Leave home.
Yeah. So when I was young, and someone stayed home longer than how I have to say, longer than the age of 18. Longer than he was. No, it's not possible. I tried to say
older than. Maybe older than 18?
Yeah, older. Yeah. Older. Yeah. So we can say, older than 18 years old. We laughed with him. Yeah, we were laughing with him. We said he's a mama boy. How do you say?
Mama's boy.
Yeah. And today things have changed. Maybe because a lot of people have less money. Also in Germany, all are saying we're a rich country, but it's not true. Just this is the scissor. We have a lot of rich and a lot of poor people, and so young people stay at home for financial reasons. And I can also answer for Greece. In Greece, it's this is another mentality. This is the mentality, maybe in Argentina. I think it could be similar. The family is very important, and often people stay at home, go to another town for studying, but after that they go back to home until they get married.
Ah, okay.
Mm.
So they leave, but then they leave, but then they come back. My mom actually calls the 20s, the decade of the 20s for kids. She calls it the boomerang years. And she calls it that way because the kids leave, then they come home, they leave again, come home, leave, come home. You know, several kids do that all the time. I don't think I ever did, but my oldest brother did. He did several times. So what we're going to do is we're going to read and fill in the spaces. The words that we have are, and I'm going to write this in capital letters on the Verbling chat. We have crisis, college, car, and so, all right, and hello, Min, how are you? Min?
I'm fine. I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. So, Min, where are you from?
I'm from China.
China. Awesome. Well, welcome. So,
Yeah.
Question for you, Min.
Yes.
How old are people when they leave home or when they fly the nest?
You mean this article?
Yeah. So how old are people in how old are people in China when they leave home or fly the nest?
Oh, actually, I have no idea.
Okay. No idea. No worries. No worries. Okay. So are they 18 or 20? How old are they when they leave home? So okay. No worries. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to read through this article. But welcome, Min. So Ken, can you start with the first paragraph?
Okay. What age is the right time to children to move out of the family home? In America, it is common for children to leave their parents' home in their late teens or early 20s, as they go to blank in different cities or get their first full-time job. However, this pattern has been changing in recent years, with children staying at home with their parents for longer. A recent survey in America revealed that in the last 6 years, the number of 25 to 34-year-olds living with their parents had increased dramatically to over 25 million.
So what is number one? Anybody have an idea what that one would be? So would it be crisis, college, car, or couple? College, yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Alejandro, can you read the second paragraph?
Yes. This phenomenon is not like it to the U.S.
So
In
limited.
Italy, limited to the U.S. In Italy, it is customary for young men to stay at home, being looked after by their mothers until they get married. They are called mamones, and no one thinks it's strange. In the UK, 30% of men aged 20 to 34, but only 18% of women live with their parents. It is figure that is rising every year.
Okay, so remember, only 18% of women. So when it's an E, it's a women. Okay, all right, thank you. Anton, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. The reason for this increase could be down to the effects of the global economic crisis. Many companies are not taking on new employees, and it is the young who are missing out on these jobs. Without a job, it is impossible to pay rent for an apartment. College graduates are increasingly burdened with debts for their education. Increasing housing costs and fewer jobs for less pay mean that many people can only survive economically by staying in the family home.
Yeah, so instead of increasing, it's increased. Increased. So this is like a T sound. Increased. Okay. All right. And Beate, can you read the next paragraph?
Mm-hmm. Some parents, some parents are, of course, happy to live with their grown-up children. Others, however, look forward to an empty nest when they can spend time again, just as a
It's on the Google chat too.
yeah, just as a couple.
Okay.
And not just look after their offspring. Having adult children in the house can create a minefield of potential conflict between the generations. Common sources of trouble include arguments over the family budget, distribution of household chores, use of the family car, and issues of privacy.
Okay, so let's go over a couple words here as far as pronunciation, Beate. So arguments over the family budget is how we pronounce it.
Budget, yeah. Budget. I pronounced it French, budget.
Yeah, yeah, distribution of household chores.
Chores,
Chores.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right, and Jorgen, can you read the last paragraph?
Yes. Companies are now springing up to support and help both parents and adult children living together. Jeff Wilburn, a psychologist and sociologist, say that the most important factor in ensuring a happy home is to draw up clear guidelines about all aspects of family life. I always recommend a written contract signed by all the family members, he states, setting out everyone's rights and responsibilities in the home. Although this may seem worryingly formal to many, it could become the norm in the coming years.
Perfect. Okay, it's interesting that you you stopped and you made a pause.
Yeah, I just have to breathe.
Yeah. Well, no, you stopped here. You paused here because I don't think you realized it, but you pronounced it wrong. And you paused, but then you continued on. But you said say instead of says. But I thought that was interesting how it was like all of a sudden, maybe in your mind, because of your level of English, you knew, okay, I did something wrong, but you didn't know what it was, so you just continued on. That was.
Well, perhaps I read a little too fast,
Yeah, you do read fast. So, but the thing is, you read fast, but you're not. To me, it's very clear. So you're not too fast of a pace yet. If you go any faster than that, it would be too fast. So, yes. All right. Any words or phrases in here that you guys do not know? And hello, Saiban. How are you today? Oh, I don't think we can hear you. I believe you can hear us though. Sounds like you need to work on the microphone somehow. Sometimes just leaving and coming back might get your microphone working. So, or you can look at the settings up and, okay. In a minute, and so
Come back.
So let's any words or phrases that you do not know.
Yes. What the meaning of the household chores?
Okay, household chores. Okay, household chores are vacuuming, sweeping, dusting, cleaning the bathroom, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, all of that stuff. So.
And burdened, increasingly burdened.
Okay, where's that? Okay, increasingly burdened. Okay, this is a problem that's especially in the States, but also a little in the UK. One of the things that is happening in the education is the education is so expensive that university students have to take out student loans. And for example, the university that I went to, when I was 21 years old, I graduated, and I was already $40,000 in debt because of the university that I went to. And so that is a problem. I don't know if anybody saw the news. I didn't read the article, but apparently Stanford is making it easier on people who are of low-income families, so that people, so kids are not finishing university with too much debt. So, all right. So to be burdened with debt would be just needing to pay too much and having no job. So, any other words or phrases? Okay. So, why do children in America usually leave home? Ken, do you remember the answer to that?
Probably to enter the university or something like that.
Okay.
Or yeah.
And the next?
And to get the past full-time job.
Perfect. So they leave home in order to go. They say they leave home in order to go to college or or when they get their first full-time job. Okay. Now, just as far as vocabulary goes, in American English, what is the difference between college and university?
I heard college is a kind of 2 years, and after that, some people at the college will go to the university.
Okay, actually, no.
Is it right? No? I was explained by the American teacher.
Yeah, really? Yeah. What she was probably telling you about junior college.
Okay.
So there's junior college where students get their associate's degree, which is a 2-year degree. And then there's regular college, and in a college, that is where you can get your bachelor's degree, either Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts. Okay, then a university, that's not going to let me write on it. Okay, let me move down. Oops. It didn't let me write at the crease of the page. University. University, at least in the States, you can get your bachelor's degree, master's degree, and doctorate. So the only difference between a college and university is that colleges do not give graduate degrees. And so because of that, a lot of times when I would say that probably, at least when I was in school, only 20% of people who got their master's degree went on to get their 20% of people who got their bachelor's degree went on to get their master's degree. Very few do that. In the U.S., college and university are synonyms. So when people are talking about college, they actually mean university. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And it's possible if you have a bachelor's degree from a college, you can go to the university to have a master's degree.
Absolutely. The only difference between the college and the university is the college doesn't offer this. For example, I graduated from George Fox College in 1991 with a bachelor's degree. During that same graduation ceremony, they were handing out their very first doctorates. Within a year, they changed to George Fox University. So, and that's because they started to add master's and PhD programs, master's and doctorate programs. And that's the only. So Americans, we talk about our college days and where you might have really gone to a university. I only actually started using university, talking about my university days, actually when I left the U.S. Because the rest of the world, there's a real difference between college and university, but in the U.S. there is no difference really. We don't see it the same because you can get the same degrees from both, and it's the same quality usually. So. All right. Who or what is a mamone? Alejandro, do you remember?
Yes, it's an old Italian man who lived with his parents.
Okay. It's not an old man, but it's an Italian man, an Italian young man.
Young man between 25 and 34, I think. I don't remember exactly.
Were you in my class? I think it was either last week or early this week where we talked about it. There was an article about the mamone. Maybe not.
I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, there's an article, a class that I teach about that. But it's an Italian word for a young adult man who lives at home being looked after by his mother. And I guess mamone is actually means mother or something like that. Okay. So Anton, what is a problem for many college graduates in the U.S. but also around the world? Well, in the U.S.
I only remember that they graduate with big debt.
Debt, yes, that is the problem, and yours truly included. When I say yours truly, me included. So they are in debt in order to pay for their education. So, which is for many of you, you come from countries where if you were good enough to go to university, then they pay for it. So, or it's cheap, or it's not very expensive. So, all right, number 4, Beate, do you remember what, according to the article, are the main problems between parents and adult children?
Oh, there were a lot of problems. So, generation problems in generally, problems according to the household chores, to the family car.
Yeah, household chores, family cars, generation gap. Oops, that is not the answer. Oh, let's see. I thought I had copied it. I finally realized I could copy. I stopped writing out the answer. Yeah, but your answer was completely correct.
And another question to Mamoni, Holly.
Mhm.
Is it a little bit ironic if you use it? Are you laughing with the people you call them Mamoni?
Well, we don't actually use it in English.
Okay.
So it's an Italian word that they added to this article.
Okay,
So,
okay. I thought you
Americans,
used it also.
no, we don't. Most Americans, if you use the word Mamoni, they will think, oh, you're saying mama wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
So the main problems are argument over the family budget, chores, the car, and privacy, which is all have to do with generation gap. Okay, so Jorgen, do you remember what recommendations does Jeff Wilburn make in the article?
Yes, he recommends that they should make guidelines, draw up clear guidelines about all aspects of family life. Yes, I always recommend a written contract signed by all the family members, setting out everyone's rights and responsibilities in the home.
Do you think that's a good idea, personally?
Well, that could be an option. I think it's a good idea to have written down who takes care of what. So just like some people have in the kitchen on the refrigerator, they have a piece of paper that says Lisa is supposed to do the dishes and Peter is supposed to go out with the trash and so forth, so that everyone knows who's doing what. Or just like when families live together in a big house in a collective, they also have clear guidelines as to who is doing what. Otherwise, the collective can break apart because people try to strive, and accuse each other of being lazy and so forth.
Yeah. In English, we actually call what you just described a chore chart.
Yes, chore chart.
Yeah, and if everybody is doing their chores, it works really well. But the problem is when people stop doing their chores, then it breaks down. But
yes, then you have to have some kind of penalty. You don't get any ice cream if you haven't done your thing.
Just one thing. When I was 21, I lived in a big house with 10 women, and we tried the chore chart. It did not work. It was terrible. So, but anyway, I think it's even worse with guys. I don't know. So let's match the two halves of the phrases. We have the survey, a source of, household, a written, take on, draw up. And then we have chores, guidelines, employees, revealed, contract, and conflict. So men, can you try to match one of these together to make it into a phrase?
Draw up guidelines and take on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, draw up guidelines. Thank you very much. Very good.
So
all right, and then Ken, can you choose another one?
Yeah. Household chores.
Household chores, perfect. Okay, and Alejandro, can you do one?
A writing contract.
A written contract, yes. Or a written.
Written contract.
Written. Okay, and Anton, can you choose one?
Take on employees.
Take on employees, perfect. Okay.
What does this mean, Holly?
It means to hire. So take on employees would mean to hire for companies. Okay, this year we will take on 50 new employees, or this year we can only take on 2 new employees.
So, okay.
Right. And Beate, can you choose one of these?
A source of conflict.
Mm-hmm. Source of conflict, and then Jorgen.
Yes, the survey revealed.
The survey revealed. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so question for you, Ken. What is your favorite household chore?
My favorite?
If you have one.
Usually I don't like it. Sometimes I cook, what I want to eat.
Okay, the cooking is, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in several months, but do you remember the guy from Taiwan? I can't remember his name. He
Yeah.
worked in a call center, but he used to like household chores. I remember him saying that he
Wow.
really likes to keep his house clean and stuff. So he needs to be here. So anyway, Alejandro, have you ever drawn up guidelines for anything?
No, well, or I don't remember. What exactly is guidelines?
Guidelines would be like if you have employees, or if you have people under you, where you kind of just tell them kind of the rules. You draw up and you agree on the rules. Guidelines would be rules, or a way to live a certain way.
No, I don't think so. No.
Never have. Okay.
No, never.
Never. Okay. And Anton, do you know if your company will take on new employees this year?
I don't know.
Would you like them to? Are you guys too busy? Do you need new employees?
Well, we too busy. We took on many projects, and maybe they will hire some employees.
Hopefully, yeah. Okay, all right. And Beate, have you you have two adult daughters. Are they living at home?
At the moment, yes.
Okay, so what do you think is the biggest source of conflict between, in that situation? Because the article says household chores, family car. What would you say the big
household chores? Yes. In every case, do you say this in every case?
Yeah, you
No.
say that.
Yeah?
In every case. Yeah.
Household chores and so for me it's a little bit another situation also, because I'm German and I'm still German and I'm living in Greece, and here is another mentality also. According to the debts everyone has to do in the household. Here in Greece, the mother does all the things.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So are your daughters more Greek, or are they more German?
Unfortunately, my son is more German.
Oh, okay, you have a son and a daughter.
Greece, yeah.
Okay, a son and two daughters?
Yeah. Okay, that's normally they grow up here.
Yeah. So they're more Greek.
Yeah, and there are a lot of sources of conflicts. But I think it's a special situation in our case.
Yeah, because you're German, a heart of a German, and they're Greek. So, yeah. Okay, Jorgen. Let's see. have you ever written up a contract for your kids? I'm assuming you have kids. If you don't have any.
No, I don't have any children.
Oh, okay, then that wouldn't work. Have you ever written up a contract for anybody?
Well, I made a contract when I bought things or have rented an apartment, and
Okay. Right.
I never hired anybody to do work for me. Well, I hired someone, like a plumber and so forth, but that's not to draw up a contract, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I can't remember.
Okay. Min.
Yeah.
What is your favorite household chore?
I think it's cooking.
Cooking as well. I think is the easiest one.
Yeah. I can make several Chinese tradition food. So
Okay, awesome.
It's fun, yeah.
So, are you inviting us over for Chinese food today?
Yes.
We'll be here in 5 minutes. That is if we had that technology from Star Trek, beam me up, Scotty, just move over. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and practice these phrases from exercise 4. Let's put these in these sentences. So let's start with Anton.
Despite the economic gloom, ABC Inc. will take on over 1,000 new employees this year.
That would be awesome if somebody would do that in my country, in my area. So, Beate, number 2.
Time can't be trusted. Make sure you get a written contract. Be on the safe side.
Yes, a written contract to be on the safe side.
Mm.
All right, number 3, Alejandro.
Billy's the model husband. He is a fantastic cook and he enjoyed doing household chores.
Yes, I think any husband who enjoys doing household chores are the best ones there. So, okay. All right. And Jorgen, number 4.
Yes. That customer satisfaction was at a record low. The survey revealed that customer satisfaction was at a record low.
Perfect. Okay. And Min, could you do number 5?
DFA Inc. has drawn up new guidelines to reduce the risk of persecution. Drawn
up new guidelines.
Guidelines, yeah.
Yep. All right, and number 6, Ken.
Okay, disagreement over which TV show to watch are constant source of conflict.
Yeah.
Some families.
Yeah, source of conflict. Source of conflict in some families. So they missed the preposition here. That doesn't need. You shouldn't know that. Have to know that. That a constant source of conflict in some families. Now, when I was growing up, that was actually very true because there were five of us children, and we all had certain ideas of what we should be watching. So, how about in your families? Did you guys have a TV watching? Was that a constant source of conflict? Ken, was it a constant source of conflict in your family?
When I was a small kid, only one TV in the living room. So sometimes we fight over the channel. But after that, everybody has their own. Began to have their own TV.
Yeah.
So there's no problem anymore. I don't watch TV so much now.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't either anymore, but I remember the fights, man. They were knocked down, drag outs in my family. In fact, I was 14, my brother was 21, and I broke his nose. And he's never let me live that down. And I keep reminding him I was 14, he was 21. Um, so he says, when you broke my nose, wait, you were the adult. So, Alejandro, how about you? Did you guys have any disagreements over TV when you were a kid? Was it a constant source of conflict?
No, because I had my own TV.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's nice being young. Growing up in the 70s, you didn't. So, Jorgen, how about when you were a kid?
Well, we only had 2 channels to choose from.
Oh, okay.
But me and my sister, we never disagreed about anything.
Really?
We could see a Danish channel and a Swedish channel. That was about it.
Okay.
So,
yeah. We had 4 channels to choose from. I guess that's why we had the problem. So, Min, did you have was watching TV a constant source of conflict in your family?
Yeah, when I was a children, I have some problems with my sister. My sister liked watching watching the TV show, and I like watching the cartoon. So there are some conflict. When but now I'm learning in the college, so I have several years to. I haven't seen TV for several years, I think. So there's no conflict.
No conflict anymore because you have no time, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Beate, how about you? When you were a kid, did you guys have...
No, I think I was thinking about it now when you were answering, and we had no fights. And yeah, the reason is what Jürgen said. We had no channels.
That's probably why. Because we had 4, ABC, NBC, CBS, and then we had... when I was older, we had 5 channels because another channel came in. So, Anton, how about you? Did you guys have fights over the TV?
We did. The source of conflict was Dandy.
The source of conflict was what?
Dandy, how to say it? It's PlayStation, old PlayStation.
Oh, it was the video games.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We had a video game, but it was in the 70s, so they were the old ones. So it usually broke really quick. So, let's look at this first question. Min, do you think it's a good idea for adult children to live with their parents? Why or why not?
I don't think it's a good idea for this. In my opinion, I think children when they come to the age of 20, they should live by themselves, not depending on their parents. If you and your parents live together, will have many conflicts. You know that.
Okay. All right. And Ken, would you like your children to live with you when they are adults?
It's up to their or our situation.
Okay. So it wouldn't be a problem. Okay. And Jorgen, what are some of the benefits of adult children living with their parents?
Some of the benefits of adult children living with their parents, well, they can keep close contact and help each other, and they save money.
Money, I think, is a big one. And stay close as well. Yeah. So, Alejandro, what are some of the negative aspects of adult children living with their parents?
They don't have intimacy. A lot of negative aspects. They need to adapt to her parents' schedule or times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think another problem could be the a parent still seeing their adult children as their as kids, you know, younger. So, so Anton, do you think adult children living with their parents should pay rent?
I think it depends on family.
Okay, it depends on the family. Yeah. I think personally, I think if they're contributing to groceries in the household in some way, they shouldn't have to pay rent. But if they aren't, if they're just eating and they're not contributing, then they should. So, Beate, what do you think? Are college students in your country expected to pay for their own tuition?
Tuition? What's tuition?
Tuition is the it's the money for school.
If they should pay from their own money, or if should
from their
pay
own
the
money.
parents from their own money. If they have to pay. Here in Greece, no.
Okay, they don't have to pay.
No, here in Greece, not. In Germany, in some regions, not everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, in Finland it was very low. It was maybe 300 euro or something like that. Very, very low. Okay, well, it looks like we have run out of time. So I do want to thank you guys for your participation. It's nice to meet you, Min. Are you new on Verbling or just new to my class? Min?
Yeah, I'm second time for your class. Last night I have your class here.
Were you in my class last night?
No, second time.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, well, welcome back.
Yeah, I like it. I like your lessons so much.
Thank you. All right, well, everyone, you have a great, so those of you guys in Europe, have a great day. Those of you in Asia, have a great evening. Alejandro, go to bed.
Okay.
What? Is it 3 a.m. now?
Yes, it's 3 a.m. 3 a.m.
All right, well, sleep well and have a wonderful Good Friday. I guess a lot of you guys have holiday today. In the U.S., we do not.
Not in Greece. We have Easter next week.
Oh, so you have a different holiday, a different calendar.
I have to go to school now.
Okay, well, have fun. In the States, we don't have holiday either, so. All right, bye.
Okay. Bye, Holly. Bye.